I just want you to play metal music over that, because otherwise it's gonna look like I went like really hard for no reason.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that for sure.
In today's video, we're talking about GLIDR Co.
Why are you drunk?
GLIDR Co, but not this one. It's the Antarctic. All right, so for Bally shorts, there's a lot less going on. We're not doing crazy gags or visual effects or whatever. We're just gonna go straight to the point, talk about the knives, get you the BS score, the Bally shorts score. That's it.
What about the flamethrower?
I'm not doing the visual effects for the flamethrower again. That took like so many hours last time.
You've changed.
But you know what doesn't need visual effects? This segue to our sponsor, Hirsch.gay. That's right, I'm sponsoring myself, bitch. You can buy shirts like this and cups like this at Hirsch.gay. The pullout score of the Antarctic. We're working with a pretty cool box. It's magnetically latched, which is pretty nice. You know, that's a fancy feature. But the box itself is relatively nice. It's just a custom sort of cutout. It has a Balisong care and maintenance sheet. It actually comes with a bite handle indicator, which is very nice, especially because you're buying a trainer here. So having that sort of indicator to let you know while you're training which side is supposed to be the bite side is helpful. It's relatively basic, you know, there's not a whole lot going on, but there is a couple extra things. We give the GLIDR Co. unboxing score a 6 out of 10. It's the same as Squid Industries, you know, it's similar stuff. You got similar level of nice packaging and everything happening. It's not craziness, but it's not bad.
And now, let's talk about the tuning experience of the GLIDR Co. Antarctic. Your call cannot be completed as done.
It's very comparable to different experiences that have bushings, stuff like the BB Firefly, the Crackerakin, like, you know, bushing Balisongs. This is easy to tune. It is not channel, so it's sandwich, so you do have more than one screw that you need to worry about, but it's really not that bad, especially with the screws at the end because of their spacer system here. It's very solid, like I talked about in the GLIDR Co. Arctic review. You can find that right there. The sandwich spacer is shockingly beefy, which allows for a lot of options here and means that all you really have to do is tighten down on it, and you don't gotta like tune the tightness of the spacer, which is nice.
I will say, coming out of the box, it was perfect. Like, I don't believe there was a
yeah, no, mine was perfect too.
Any tap,
100%.
And it took quite a bit of force to get that dislodged.
Yes.
So honestly, like, unless you need to take it apart and replace anything, I don't really feel like you'd even really have to mess with this at all because it came really tight. Whenever you do have to take it apart, that's a journey, but we'll get to that in the next segment.
That'll be in the next. Oh, wow, okay, there he goes. The only reason I took mine apart later was because of the replaceable weights at the end of the handle, which we'll talk about during the flipping and the value, but the score for the tuning for this knife is an 8 out of 10. Good experience, it's a good experience. Aggressive.
Hello, and welcome to the durability.
Nope, we're not doing
portion of the
this
video.
voice anymore.
In this video, we're...
Okay, durability. I am here to talk about the durability because boy did I go on a fucking journey with this bad boy. So literally the day that I got it, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna walk to the gym in my athletic shorts. And so I'm walking there and I'm like, oh, there's something in my shoe, and I bend down to get the thing in my shoe and it slides out of my pocket from below waist height and it got like crazy damaged. It couldn't move. So it started off bad. I contacted GLIDR and they were absolute bros, and they walked me through the whole process of what I needed to do to fix it. I filed down where the metal was on the inside of the scale, and I was able to get it back to probably like 98% of what the play originally was. Thankfully, GLIDR, they sent me a full suite of replacement hardware, replacement bushings, replacement screws, replacement washers. So I was able to fix all of that, but I do have my concerns about the durability because of that. But from talking to Will about it, talking to GLIDR about it, as far as I know, kind of a complete fluke of a thing and just incredibly unlucky, which is kind of my life a lot of the time. Life, please stop. Why do you do these things?
Yeah, you're really unlucky. I'm so sorry.
There we go.
The drop that you did was so statistically unlikely. It was very impressive. I think they tried to recreate it, right?
They tried to recreate it. Oh yeah, that's a fun thing. So they sent me a video trying to recreate it where they literally had concrete and they literally took it and trying to recreate it, and they couldn't do it. So in terms of materials, this is 6061 aluminum, which is very standard across, you know, aluminum balisongs and everything like that. It has 440C blade. It's actually the same exact blade as the Arctic. Like Will and I both cannot find any discernible difference between them. But so overall, the durability is solid. My experience was a fluke, so we're not gonna dock points because of that. And actually that customer service we got from GLIDR actually factors into our value score as well. So with all that being said, we give the durability an 8 out of 10. That's all, folks.
Oh, go to the B-roll.
Okay, so the flipability of this dipability is pretty hipability high, but the Antarctic is a shockingly good flipper for the price, especially when compared to things in the general price range of it and the old one, the GLIDR Arctic. The difference here is kind of shocking, honestly. This is a substantially better flipper than the Arctic by itself, and the Arctic wasn't a bad flipper at all. It's a very enjoyable flipper. However, the difference in both the handle sizing, on this it's more square all around, whereas with this one it's kind of rectangular. You got like a lot of sideways with not a lot of thickness. This one fans fine. This one fans great. This one has a lot less grip overall. These front faces, while they look kind of cool, they provide a little bit of grip, but not a ton. Whereas the more minimal cutout on the Antarctic actually provides a substantial amount of grip because your fingers sort of have a spot to slot into as you spin it around. On top of that, the sides of the Antarctic finally have jimping now instead of being this weird, just flat roundedness that they are on the regular Arctic. Another thing to note about the flipping of this balisong is you can actually adjust the experience by changing out the weights at the end of the handle. GLIDR offers for around $6 a separate set of weights that are heavier than the original ones. The original weights are 70-75 aluminum, whereas the heavier weights are steel of some kind. So if you replace them, you can take the knife from a neutral balance flipper to a handle biased flipper, which I personally prefer. If you buy this balisong, I highly suggest you get the weights as well because it's only $6 more, especially if this is your first balisong. That would allow you to experiment more with what kind of flipping you like. Overall, there is a substantial difference in the flippability, which has given us a score of 9 out of 10 for the Antarctic. Both me and Brandon went back and forth trying to decide, is this a 10 out of 10 flipper or a 9 out of 10 flipper? We kind of compared it to things like the Cracker-Racken and the Serif and the Will Hirsch Gay Squid Industries. All of them just had a little something that wasn't present here. To me, this felt kind of like a 9.5 and not quite a 10, which means, of course, in our 10-point rating system, it gets a 9. Okay, so now we move on to the availability, and the availability of GLIDR products is a bit of an issue, kind of. It's very average, you might say. GLIDR does drops every once in a while, but currently they are focusing on the Antarctic, which will unfortunately mean that the GLIDR Arctic will be hard to get for a while. Either way, this gets a 5 out of 10 in terms of availability. It has drops every once in a while. GLIDR has a pretty good network of reliable vendors. It's a 5 out of 10. 5 is average. 5 is average. Now we come to the hardest to determine metric in this entire thing. When we're thinking about the value score, we're normally thinking about how much value does it give you, both in terms of the flippability, the durability, all of the other scores combined, but also stuff like, does it come with a warranty? How reliable is the company? Does the company work with you if you drop it and break it like an idiot in the first day?
By comparison, if something happens to my the one Alien or the one Falcon, I am literally fucked, and nobody can help me.
And so the value proposition is a little bit hard to pinpoint. When you go from the Arctic to the Antarctic, there is an increase in price. You go from $115 to around $165. There are a lot of things to consider here. First of all, GLIDR Co. is a company that will give you feedback and support on your products, but the flippability of this Balisong is substantially better than the older model. This Balisong competes with stuff like the Squid Trainer, the Triton, and the Squid Mako, but for less money in general. And that means it's a very impressive value proposition for its money, and so we gave it a 10 out of 10 in the previous video. However, this costs $115 and this costs $165. So is it worth that extra cash? Well, yes, I would say so, because this doesn't compete with this, in my opinion, due to the flipping performance increases. This competes with this. I wouldn't say it's a better flipper than the Squid Kraken, but I would say that it's at least on the level. It's something that you could go between the two and have a very similar enjoyable flipping experience due to the upgrades in the design. On top of that, this actually includes features that you can't find except on very expensive Balisongs like the Squid Industries Tsunami and the Machine-Wise Seraph. So I think the value proposition of this Balisong is incredible and earns a 10 out of 10 on the list.
Damn.
And so for the final score of the GLIDR Co. Antarctic, you can see right here all of the numbers. It gets a 46 out of 60. That puts it just above the Balisong Z and just below the Nautilus. But that's pretty much it for this one. If you'd like to see where other knives rank in comparison to this Balisong, definitely check out the Balisong list, and there's a link for that right here. Also, if you're interested, definitely consider supporting us on Patreon. Our Patreon supporters are the reason we're able to make this kind of content. If you support us, you can unlock awesome features like the private community Discord that allows you to talk with me and Brandon directly, as well as videos like these days in advance of anyone else. So, consider supporting us. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching this video that I made about the GLIDR Co. Arctic. Brandon is hiding down here.
I wasn't ready
He was there the whole time. He's been down there like the whole video. You shouldn't know about this. Bye, Brandon.
Okay, goodbye.